Alright, so welcome back everyone to episode 4 of my Civilization 5 Gods and Kings play. Gods and Things. Wow, I totally botched that. Gods and Kings expansion pack playthrough. There we go. Gotta talk extra slow. I'm too excited about destroying a Sika that I'm slurring my words. Don't worry, I'm not drunk. I wouldn't plan to be either. Okay. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to skip away from Washington for a little while to start improving Boston to hopefully get this shrine finished, because that's going to be essential to our religion that we're trying to found. We're going to get this finished, start training some troops in order to be able to carry out Operation York. The revenge and the destruction of a Sika of Songhai. Oh, hello. Oh, good. A friendly face.
We are pleased
England. That's good. That's good. Auspicious wind. God, vocabulary words. I hate vocab. But it's England, so, you know. We're alright. Jaffa Cakes all around, Queen? Good. Good. Jaffa Cakes. Jaffa Cakes are good. Seriously, though, if anyone hasn't tried Jaffa Cakes, I think I'm going to put if you live in America or somewhere where they don't sell Jaffa Cakes, I'm going to put a link in the description to a website where you can order Jaffa Cakes from England. Now, mind you, it is slightly expensive, but they're worth it. If you don't know what a Jaffa Cake is, I guess you would call it a cake. Oh, sure, why not? It's like a small cake about the size of an Oreo, with orange flavored gel, which is so good, on the inside, covered on top with chocolate, and it's really good. They are pretty small, but they're very good. So I'm gonna put the link in the description where people can buy those, because they are really good. I would suggest, though, if you're going to buy them, wait until it gets a little colder out. If you live in America, at least. I don't know how you do this if you live in a place like Arkansas, because they stick together way too easily in the box. If you live on the east coast of America, where it gets pretty cold in the winter, I would suggest ordering them when it's winter here and winter in the UK, only because it'll stop them from melting and sticking together in the packaging, because that's what happened the last time I bought them. They were still good, but they kept ripping off the top layer of chocolate from the last one. So anyway, enough about completely irrelevant Jaffa Cakes. We are going to continue building stuff. The Great Library is about a quarter of the way done-ish. And you can see we have a nice wealth of woods here. And we're not going to cut down all of it. I think we're going to leave up here, this area up here. And that will ensure us enough wood to supply us if we need to cut some down. We'll put some logging camps up here. That way we can get some work done. Now, some things I want some people to focus on. Actually, let me go to a town that actually has more than one citizen. So see here, you have citizen management. Now you can do food production, gold, science, culture, great person, and faith focus. Now, there are certain buildings, such as the Great Library, which would probably be the first building, which you'll get your first great something point, in this case, great scientist. And that'll pop up above citizen management and say, you know, blah, 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 number out of 900 on your way to getting a great scientist. Now, if you'll see, default focus, right now it's pretty much on food, as you can see. But if we look at, say I go and switch to gold focus. No, actually, that's not a good example. Production focus. Okay, see these guys? They just switched from being over here to over here. If I do food focus, they'll go back to the food where there's also other things that are more than the farms have, because only because you see there's food and gold in the desert only because it's on the water, but there's also faith in the desert. So they'll go there instead of the farms, because there's only food and work at the farms. There's not food and gold and faith. So they'll go to the one that supplies the most, but I'm going to change that back to default focus, and they'll be in the same spot anyway. So, and there's something you can do to avoid growth, which means they'll stop focusing on food, which is good if you don't have farms and you want small cities. However, we want thriving metropoli. I believe that's how you say it, metropoli. I don't know. Metropolis just doesn't sound right. Anything that ends with S should just be abbreviated with I if you're making it a plural. So we can have them emphasize on faith, and they'll change absolutely nothing. But what we're going to do for Washington in the future, once we get a university or two down, is we're going to have them focus on science. As you can see, that we built the Great Library here for two reasons. One, it will be the quickest done out of the two cities we have. And two, it'll give us science, and a free technology, and a great scientist point. You want to make each of your cities go towards a different great person. So, for instance, Washington will be a great scientist. Boston will be a great artist. New York, as in real life, great merchant. New York was the major merchant city of the United States. Well, not the United States at the time, the Americas at the time. Really accelerated by the construction of the Erie Canal in the 1800s. But before that, it was just a sleepy town. And then merchants came and it got crazy. And we started landfilling and crap like that, which made it the city it is today. Isn't that great? Dirt, always our friend, dirt. But yeah, but merchant you want to do for that. I usually try to stick with each. Okay, so now we're gonna change to strength 11, strength 8, fairly weak. We'll go with spearman. What we could do is actually get a ship over here. Actually, you know what? We're gonna change to ship a Trieme. Or is it just Triem? I have no idea. Because it's going to take 11 less turns. And it's only 1 less strength. So that's pretty good. And it can move farther, obviously. So we'll change it to a Triem. I think it's a Triem. Probably not Trieme. Because I think it's French. So you wouldn't pronounce the last E. I'm just going to say Triem. So we can have a ship. We can have a couple ships, our armada of ships. And later on, when we start getting into the better technologies, I'll open the technology tree for you. Let's see, we'll get down here where we'll get the frigate, the privateer, specializes in attacking coastal cities to earn gold and capturing enemy ships. You got the caravel, fast Renaissance exploration unit. This is for exploring. This is for fighting and fighting. Seaport, gold, very good. So the next thing we're going to research to after we're done with masonry is theology. And then before we do education, we're going to skip down and get guilds so we can get gold from trading posts and national treasury. And for that we have to have a market in each town, which isn't going to be too hard to do because we'll only have 2 towns, I think. Maybe 3 at that point. Not sure. So keep settling more towns and keep building more units until we can destroy the travesty of Sika. Not that there's anything wrong with Africans, don't get me wrong. I'm just anything I say in this game is pertaining to this game only. Like, if you've ever heard the phrase, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens in these videos has nothing to do with the real world. I could say, like, for instance, if he had, let's say, Tengranism, and he spread it to my city and I didn't like him for it, I could say, oh, I hate this Tengranism. That doesn't mean in real life that I hate the Native Americans, I believe. I might be wrong that it's their religion too, so don't take anything I say for granted unless I put something in the description that's right. Free settler. Now I think what we're going to do with this settler is we are going to put it right here. Yes. Actually, no, that won't work. We'll have to put it... Oh, there's something on this tile. Now, if you notice, if you're scrolling with a unit and it stops and it says there's red there, there's something on that tile. And I know it can't be a barbarian because barbarians are off. So there's a couple things it could be. It could be the Swedish, who I know are exploring the continent. It could be the English. It could be the Iroquois. But considering it's only about 5 tiles away from Timbuktu, I'm going to say it's a Sika. So we'll get up here and Theology. This will bring us to the medieval era, which is good because it changes bonuses to city-states. So there has to be something in one of these tiles that's preventing us from moving there. And I'm going to find out what it is if it doesn't want to present itself to me. Of course, it'll probably have disappeared by the time I get there, my luck. But, you know. Try, and then you find out that everything you did was crap, and that a Sika doesn't like it. Of course, it's gone. What a surprise. Okay, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to settle it right here, and I'm going to call this, what should I call this? I don't want Philadelphia. I'm going to go for something different than Philadelphia. There's no cities in this game that are in New Jersey. What could we put here? Now we're going to stop here, and I think I'm going to purchase another Tree M. Purchase a Tree M while building a Tree M, which will give us more Tree M-iness. I know that's not a word. Don't burn me for saying a word that doesn't exist. And right here, we're going to settle town. Now, it's going to say New York. I know it's going to say New York. We're going to change this to a town that's very productive with science. Princeton. There we are, Princeton. So we're going to change production to... And instead of starting with a shrine, we're going to start making warriors. Just for the sole purpose of going to war. That way we can start making warriors. So we founded Princeton, which actually wasn't in my goals because I didn't know how long it was going to be until we got our next social policy. So we're going to sail this guy right over here. Oh, now we finally met Milan. Oh, well, look at that. I don't have any money to give them, but we'll pledge to protect them. Just so it looks like we're doing things. Now, we're about to sail through their territory, and if we stop in their territory, they're going to get pissed at us. So hold on, let me see if we stop in their territory. And the best part about searching early on with sea units is they can only travel on this light blue coast, but they can find other lands that no one else has found yet. Such as if this kept going, it would connect to another landmass, which you could then settle for yourself and have a place all your own. So let me just write some things down that I've been doing. So we did continue the Great Library. We are building units in our available cities. We did start researching towards Theology. Lahasia desires gems. Gems. Oh, look at that. Do I have mining? I do have mining. How much will that cost? 95. Well, that's good. Okay. Mine gems for the next episode. I'll go down there. So we did everything and built Princeton. And I'm gonna right under that, Science, Princeton University. Its initials are PU. It's so funny. Okay, so I'm gonna end it here once again because in my excitement I forgot to time this episode, so I have no idea how long it's been. So we're gonna end it here. I'd like to thank you for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to me. Check out my Minecraft videos on XPM Gaming. And other than that, I'll see you guys later.